Yeah. Hello, everyone. I am doing battle with spiders in the physical air, and I'm so rich with many drinks. Oh wow. Remembering that I listened to one of my other VODs recently, noticed I'm really quiet. So we're boosting the mic yet again. We're up to 550% of what Windows says this microphone can do. Why this is a thing, I do not know. Microsoft, get your stuff together. If there's no reason that I should have to be boosting something this far, zero reason. Hi, Dan. And my usual prep. How's your night going? How's everyone's night going? I was looking at the community votes, and so far it looks like we got a vote for Mirrormoon and Cave Stories, so that's pretty cool. I have not played Mirrormoon since I first tried it, and I could not figure out how to play that game. Like, it is a bit of a puzzler, but I've also been playing a lot more puzzle games lately, so maybe it'll go a little better than last time. Also, Dan, how are the levels? Is it like messing with my audio and distorting it at all? Basically, I'm just trying to make certain that I'm not being drowned out by background audio, and that it's loud enough that the user can choose to adjust volume. This over here, move this over here. Grab this, move this over here. Okay, well that tells me where my audio's at. I guess that works. If I bring this in a little closer, that should set me where I need to be. Oh yeah, now I can hear myself on monitor. Perfect. Pop filter's gone. I don't know what I did. I must have eaten it in my sleep again. So that means you're also probably able to hear every time I take a drag. That's not the best. What did I do? Because I dismantled my bed when I woke up and couldn't find the thing, and I still never found the thing. Like, I legitimately do not know what happened to my microphone baffle. It's very strange. I guess next time I end up at Micro Center, I'll have to just buy a couple of spares because it looks like it's just a standard issue type of baffle shape. Just go over whatever mic. Okay, looks like our timer is up. Pop. I'm here now. Well, mostly. So let's see here. Oh yeah, votes are still just Mirrormoon and Cave Story. And since we played Cave Story before, we'll jump into that afterwards. I don't know how long I'll be able to play Mirrormoon. It's, like I said, it's a puzzler, and it's a bit more than I am used to. You know what? Let's go ahead and run this ad. We'll turn this down. And that gives me a second to go ahead and get my stuff adjusted over here as well. Okay. Do I have that one already loaded into OBS? That's the next question. I don't think I had any M's last time I looked. Yeah, no. Alright, we'll have to add that as well. Party! Ooh, that is some funky sounds. One sec, folks. Alright, first of all, where is the... There we go. Yikes. Hello, game? You want to come back, or are you frozen now? Oh, I think I have upset the game. This music is perfect for this situation. Hello, Mirror. Come back. Where'd you go? I was taking the last couple of minutes there to try and fix the calibration settings on my my VTuber because she keeps doing the OMG face when I'm just sitting there completely like neutral, flat-lipped, not smiling, not exclaiming, like nothing, not even talking. She'll just be doing the. Oh, now she won't even do it. I apparently over-calibrated it now. Nope, that's the wrong one too. Oh well. Point unproven. Okay. Let's try this one more time. Oh no. Steam, come back. Okay. Play. Santa Rajon. Oh, maybe? Are we crunchy? We're so crunchy. Hello. Hmm. We might be coming back. I'm waiting for it to stop doing that stutter. Okay. We're gonna have to... probably tell it to go with the lower graphic settings. Apparently beautiful is too much for this laptop, and I don't know why. There is no reason it should be, but it is. Intermediate, we'll do that instead. Okay, maybe. That's slightly less crunchy. Now let's see if moving my VTuber causes this to completely collapse in on itself. Because that would be fun, wouldn't it? Oh no. Looks like we're actually here. Good. Good, good, good. Start new game. Oh, actually, where's that? Yeah, there's some music here. New game. I'm slowly learning to travel in space. Time is a meaningless variable that slips through my fingers. Stopping requires a lot of energy, while moving feels almost like staying still. Breathing is hard inside this machine. I need to stay calm. Oh, geez. Oh, I forgot about this. Okay. Uh, kind of want this as my background now, just like when I'm hanging out with you folks for the just chatting streams. Wow. I just broke something. What happened here? Hey there, Trey. How's it going? Mm, one more try. Okay. So, what do we got here? What are you? Oh. Hmm. Okay. Um. Um. Hmm. Ah, the red button. You know, that makes sense. Push the red button to start. Okay. Um. Okay. Hmm. Rotate mouse or arrows. Hmm? So what if we just walk all the way around the planet for a minute? Uh, hmm. I hope I don't get cold. Ooh, what's that? Whoa. Oh, we're back where we were. Okay, so return. Wait a sec. Is there anything else? There's something else that way. Is this going to turn into Starbound? It would be interesting if it did. Alright, so I need to go this way to the red thing, I think? Hmm. I don't think I went the right way. Oh, made for this, though. What are you? What are you? Oh, what is the point of this? Oh, I activated something. Okay. So does that mean... Wow, what a terrible way to look at the planet. Okay, that helps so much. Why? Why did I have to take a dab? Why am I a fool? Ooh, what's this? What are you? Okay. Lock and drag, right click slash enter. What does that mean? Where's the moon? Have you seen the moon? Oh. What does this mean? Lock and drag? What does that do? Maybe I need to go back to the stairway. Oh. Okay. Now it's daytime. I don't know what this means. I found something. I don't know what it means. Pillar of Stanislaw. Okay. Which direction am I facing? What if I grab the whole planet then? And I take a walk? Hey, can't interact with you when you're like that. Here's some shadowy things. I turn you on. And I turn you on. I don't know what this means. Huh. Wait, can I not see myself? Oh, the Pillars of Neil. Where's my pointer in relation to all this? Pillar of Philip. Wait, I can use that pointer system. So if I click on there. Okay. So then I just look from each of these pillars. Uh-oh. Here's to hope and it's this direction. Where am I? Oh, 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 oh. Hey! Oh, 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 oh. What if I grab the sun? Okay, that doesn't help. Ooh, that's a good resonant frequency. This moon was made for walking, and it is so mirrored. Ooh, what's that? Okay, there's a thing here that I can go to when it's nighttime. Okay. What a strange game. Well, okay. What did I just do? Hmm. Oh. Okay, so let's... Wait a sec. What is happening here? Ah. Wait, did I just... I just connected the moon to itself? What? Huh? Um... I'll follow this one. Does it just stop it? Huh. It's kinda... I wonder if I'm just supposed to go elsewhere. And just keep going down this direction. Or if this is something I'm supposed to look at nighttime. But how do I make it nighttime if the moon's connected to itself now? Like... I don't understand. This game is confusing. Wait, what? Oh, you just stop right here again. Well, what do you do? Oh. Huh. So now it just orbits on its own? What does that mean? Hmm. Okay. So theoretically, if I continue this direction, I might find the other tower. I don't know. Also, after talking, huh? 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 What is? Okay, so there's like some sort of I don't. But there was like also a gravitic anomaly that we found. Was it just because that tower was there? No, there definitely is something like, hmm, at certain parts of the day. There it is. It's on the other side of the planet from there. I found it. What are you? Oh. Oh. Okay. I can no longer rotate the planet. Uh. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. To quote La Fiola Fortuna, you're feeding it? I have a terrible headache. This bridge must be a miscalculation of the Boswin. Despite my growing comprehension of her work, every configuration on compatible planets seems like a random model grafted onto a problem that's too complex. I can only hope that things will be different when I reach the anomaly. That wasn't the anomaly? Ringo. Clay. Ohisi. Or Ohisi. Zeus. Bleh. Is there a buh and a guh? Elasto. Arkham. Sops. Proton. Quant. Loving these names. So some of these, like, actually have names, and I wonder what that means. Oh. Health. Satyr. Nemes. I want you to bet this is Nemesis. Right-click mouse move to look around. So if I rotate this enough, yeah, okay. That's not awful or anything. What? What does that mean? Visit a star system named by another player. Complete 95% of side A. Okay. I do like the kind of aimless exploration part of first finding the planet. You just walk for a while, see if you find anything. Oh. Okay. Welcome to the puppy head tilt game. Where's sound come from? Boo boo big sound. Okay, I'm back at the mushroom. I'll try this direction this time. Aha. Orb. Well, what does that mean? Okay. Oh. Did I just send myself back to where I was? But the dark side? Hmm. Mm. Mm. Well, we have hit a point in the game where I no longer have any clue what I'm doing, and I'm running aimlessly, hoping that something interesting will pop up, but it's not happening. So I think we'll call it good for Mirrormoon, and we're gonna switch up our games. Continues season 119. I have no idea what's going on in this game. It is so confusing. Cave story. Where did you go? Do I have this one just like completely turned down again? Yep, I do. Okay. Always the fun thing of it, like turning itself down when it's not focused. I think that'll work though. Maybe? Maybe. Oh, what a strange game that was. I think I've done enough grinding my brain against a wall. Let's do something a bit more platformy. Uh, Full screen. Oh no. Okay. Now I have to. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. There. I was afraid that was gonna happen. Okay. Cave story. Cave story. Please. No, it's gone. It just shut itself down entirely. Okay. Cool. Handy. Uh, why does it do that? Worse yet, like it's misaligned. So that's like what's bothering me about this. It's not detecting immediately, and then it's misaligning. Oh my God. Okay. We're gonna keep doing this until I get it fixed. It's going to drive me crazy otherwise. Okay. I think one more time we'll have it. I'll still have to hit the transition button, which will make a break again, but I think we'll have it from there. I don't know why it does that. Transition. Oh, maybe it actually let me go. Hey! We're here. The second I open my self-monitoring software, I guarantee it's going to have a problem again. Well, maybe not. Very nice. Okay. So we were in the sand zone. We had just got the bubbling, and we were trying to save some puppies. So that we could also save some bunnies. And there was an old lady we were talking to, and Balrog tried to kidnap her, I think. I think the old lady was actually Misery's mother or grandmother, I'm not entirely sure. And red flowers are bad. They make Mimiga turn into giant monster versions of rabbits. Yeah, I think that's a decent enough summary. Great, Doctor. All the red flower seeds have been harvested. Good. By the way, the flowers blooming there, are they the demon flowers? Yes, sir. Well, well, such an ominous flower, unexpected to say the least. My great doctor, would you like to eat one? No, that won't be necessary. Well, why don't we sample it by using the Mimica instead? Yes, I'd agree. Uh, Here. Hey, where are you going? Balrog, make her eat a red flower. Got it. Please stop. Eat it. Eat it. Stop now! Oh yeah, it's Shadow the Hedgehog in rabbit form. Taroko, are you alright? Oh, it's Taroko, not Sue. King, on my head. No! You're that doctor. Indeed, I am the doctor, and your new leader. I should say it's a pleasure to finally meet you. Tell me, is there something you'd like to do with that sword of yours? I'm gonna kill you! Without the power of the red flower, they are weak. Oh, you're that persistent soldier from the surface. You have perfect timing. They're all yours. A small gift from me to you. There's no need for you to thank me. Handle them, will you? Toroko, no! Wait, a yellow flower? Oh. Wow, I didn't realize I was taking that much damage. Yes, we'll retry. Okay, this time I'm not gonna actually, like, try to be polite to Roko. I'm just gonna machine gun everything. It's unfortunate I can't just skip the cutscene here. Like, I get it. It's a very important cutscene, but, RPGs in general kind of had this problem. Oh. Wow, this is a bit of a harder fight than I remember it being. Soroka's kind of a beast. Kind of a beast. I have 2 health left. Oh, jeez. Wow. Hmm. Really? Not having a great time. Kind of struggling. Kind of struggling. I don't remember this fight being this hard. How did I beat her last time? Jeez. Hey there, Milky Taro. I am getting my butt kicked by Toroko. Turns out she's really good at hitting things with bricks. Also, I feel like I did a decent job of voice acting all this for the first attempt, but all pretense for that goes out the window the 5th time through. I'm not sure which is like the better one for me to try and go for. I seem to get longevity out of using the flamethrower, but it's like it just feels like I'm barely keeping up at that point. The only way I'm delivering any like decent amount of damage is by getting the missiles out of the way first, and then hoping that I can level them back up again during the fight, but like not getting hit at all while trying to also target them. There's such floaty jumps. And then Taroko, like, randomly chooses to pause. Like this. And then she'll sometimes jump right when you're, over her. Yeah, okay, well, come on. I didn't even see that flower there. But yeah, I'm seeing that I'm getting like a third of her health down with just the missiles. It's not really happening with any of the other abilities. Oh, what fun it is to slay in a one wide open horse. Balrog just doesn't understand anything. Completely dense, evil, and very dense. And it's not like I don't know if Balrog doesn't know or doesn't care. Oh, well. That's certainly one way to deal a lot of damage real quick. Oh no. Oh wow. Almost didn't make it out of that. Yeah, I think if the polar star is gonna be my way out of this. Just deliver way too much damage really fast. Dang, the polar star can deal a lot of damage if you can button mash. Oh, Todoroki. Oh. Is there some other way that I can, like... King? I can't help you anymore. Will you avenge me? King? No. Oh yeah! Balrog. Sorry! You're still alive. There was one back then, too. A tough little robot like you. There'll be no end to this if we try to take you head on. I'm sending you to the labyrinth. And you too. Huh? Oh! That was refreshing. You've hit the ground floor. Where is this place? You were thrown down here by the witch, Misery, too. Little guy. The island's junk is stored here. Once you're in here, you'll never be able to get out. Okay. No response. It won't open. Switch for this door is supposed to be all the way up top, but the footing's real bad. I've fallen so many times I've broken my leg. Oh. Do you want to save? Game saved. Oh. Ah! Gimme, gimme, gimme. Okay. Max life increased by 5. Found and collected all of the life capsules. I was wondering if I was underpowered for that fight. I guess not. I just needed to not rely on missiles. I've been playing too much Metroid. Oh. Okay. Oh. Do you want to open the door? I kind of expected that robot to startle. Oh, they left. No response. Farewell. Oh no. The mangled remains of a robot. Oh. No. Oh. Ah, I want to eat Mimiga. What's that scent? I faintly smell Mimiga on you. It was ages ago. A witch lived alone in solitude here on this island. That witch would ultimately use her magic to create this labyrinth and confine us Gaudi within. Ever seen the outside of this island? It's floating high up in the sky. How the island happens to float? The secret to that is hidden deep inside this labyrinth. Do you want to save? A way out of this labyrinth does exist, however, the path leading to the exit is obstructed by a single boulder. I'm not even sure if the exit can be reached after moving the massive piece of rock. Hi, this is the labyrinth rock. Unfortunately, a burglar broke in recently and took everything, so I don't have anything to sell. Sorry for the inconvenience. What's that? You got something nice there. That's a polar star and a fireball. May I have a look? You get the polar star, you get the fireball. Snake is completed. Cold-hearted snake. Oh. I can shoot through walls now? That's powerful. Oh! Forgot about these fellows. Huh? Okay. Ooh. Now I have a couple things to level up. It's gonna be easy to just take on these. Six per hit is a lot. Wow. So it's firing the polar star. Wow, with the fireballs, like fire pattern. Looks like 8 per shot too. Yep, that's really good. We're just gonna try and take on, yeah. One shot. Woo! Him. What are you? I'm a physician. Allow me to take care of you. Don't worry, I won't take your money. In exchange, please accept a simple request from me. There's an old clinic nearby. Go there and see if any medicine is left inside. Obtain the clinic key. I'm a nurse. I worked at the clinic nearby, but a dark ghost began haunting it, so I ran away and came here. Okay. Do you want to save? I think I do. I like the Polar Star, but the Cold Snake seems really good. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! It's the Ghost of King! That's both sad and awesome. Okay, so he stops against walls. The bubbling is damaged. The missile launcher is damaged. Are you kidding me? It's because I think that, like, these have less health than they do, and I keep just running right into them. Like that. I'm really not accounting for their sheer amount of health. Oh, why? On top of that, I've managed to, like, nearly kill myself in the process with all this. There we go. Okay, so my whole thing that I'm curious about at this point, I should also level that up, is what I missed when I went this direction, because I feel like I actually missed something. Hard to say. Really is. Okay. Oh, headphones dying. Ah! Okay. Little hard to aim this one. Which makes sense. It's the power of a furious bunny. Okay, this is the labyrinth. Oh, if it directly strikes, it hits multiple targets. Interesting. Interesting. Alright. Time to charge my headphones. This is neat. Of course, this is still absurdly powerful by comparison. The ability to shoot through walls is very unfair in this game. And I hope I didn't, like, mess up something progression-wise for the ending that I'm looking for, but I think it's the fact that this is the version of the game that has additional content, and I'm not sure if it's because this is after the Switch release, where they added more stuff. Oh, messed up. Wow. Use the clinic key. Open the treasure chest. Obtain the cure-all. What are you? You seem like Balrog. Wow. Ghost in the clinic. Huh. There we go. Got some good healing. Made it back to the camp. Of course I want to say. Hey, long time no see. You look great. So you were warped down here by that witch Misery. Me too. Even you weren't able to succeed against him. I did have a tiny bit of hope. Like you, I tried my best, and this is where I ended up. I'm disappointed in myself. When it comes down to it, I couldn't protect them. With this body in this shape, getting out of here is going to be next to impossible. I'm a physician. Allow me to take care of you. Gave the cure-all to the physician. Oh, you found it! Thank you, and sorry for the trouble. Please, leave the rest to me. Tell me, were there still any ghosts? Thank you for doing what was necessary to help your friend. This is a legendary labyrinth. I don't know who built it, but it must be for some kind of trash collection. There's only one way to escape. You would have to move a massive rock that is found inside a separate chamber. I'd go with you, but in my current state, I'll be more of a burden than a help. Okay. Oh no. Okay, so I can get there that way. Huh. I'm out of missiles again. Dang it. The floaty jumps in this are going to be the death of me. Dang it. I was trying to... specifically trying to change my weapons there. That would not happen. And then, of course, that's exactly what happened. Okay, so I have no missiles now. That's cool. We'll just explore over this way and see where it takes us. Oh, hey, it's the thing from Gradius. That's interesting. Huh? I don't... Ow. I just got run over. Ow. Oh, there they are. No reactive animation, so I didn't know when I was dealing damage. Dang, King's Blade does some major damage. Alright. That's what I'm talking about. FF damage. The Ghost of King is furious. Ow. You're a cat. Defeated Monster X. Was 4 health. 4! Huh? You?
Why are you here? I see. Misery sent you down here too. This might be good luck, arising from misfortune. The thing is, the island that floats in the sky because of some kind of life force. I recently uncovered the location of that life force. Somewhere in this labyrinth lies that life force. If it can be destroyed, then the functions of the island might just cease. Right about now, I think the doctor should surely be in a huge panic. He was sent into the heart of this island. Here, take this.
Obtain booster VO8.
This little machine will help you fly into the air. You can hover while airborne by pressing the jump. Use the subscreen. Okay. Oh, I thought I was in big trouble the moment I caught air. But thanks to that, I was able to see you. Looks like with this, I've used up my last bit of good fortune. Best luck.
No! Everybody's dying! No. Oh. power supply is broken. An electrician with a certain amount of know-how could probably fix it. Maybe. Life and missiles refilled. Alright, she's gone. Why? Why? Alright. A teleporter there. It was working before. Even when it was working, its destination point was someplace in the labyrinth. A teleporter. It's not receiving any power. Okay. A witch named Janka locked us in here. It's not like she hates us. The reason she put us in the labyrinth is to protect some kind of secret kept in here. We gaudy of bad memories, so we forget what we're protecting. Sorry. I kind of feel bad for repeatedly killing the Gaudi, but like... Let's see. Open the treasure chest. Obtain the arms barrier. Armbar. What is armbar? A weapon energy is lost from sustaining damage is halved. Oh, nice. Ah! Of course, it doesn't help with those situations, but... Oh wait, I can just go to this fellow. Aha! I'm a physician. Looks like the medicine is finally taking effect. She'll be much better very soon. It's all thanks to you. Here for a visit with your friend? If that's who you're looking for, she headed out in the general direction of the boulder chamber. Okay. Do you want to rest? Yes. Life refilled. It's important to rest. Hey! You made it! I've been waiting for you to get here all this time. If this rock is moved, we can continue onwards to the labyrinth exit. Rumor has it there's a creature's lair up ahead. Be prepared for anything. Well then, let's move this boulder to the side. Hold that end, and then... So, let's go! Oh. They won't move at all. Maybe it's impossible to only move with the two of us.
Oh yeah!
Hey, it's you!
So you are alive! And on top of that, you're trying to escape from the labyrinth! Shouldn't you be resting instead of trying to make an escape? Remember that you can't defy the Master any more than I can! Fine then! I'm ending this! Just stay here with the rest of the scrap metal!
It's perfect! You can grab the middle. Ready?
Are you two listening to me at all? What?
Defeated Balrog. Defeated Balrog, yet again.
Defeated again. I'll move the rock for you. But in return, keep the fact that I helped move it for you a secret.
Don't you worry. Here he goes.
Ah! Got it? Me helping you guys? It's our little secret.
He might actually be one of the good guys. Open the treasure chest. Missiles are powered up. Obtain the super missile launcher. Now, come on, into the lair. Yes, please. It's a giant heavy boulder. She has the polar star. Oh no, she has her blaster. That's so awesome. Wow, I'm taking some damage. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I'm like watching her to make certain she doesn't get damaged, but she seems to be immune to damage. One second. I have no idea what that was. I just had something literally crawl across my neck. Do not like. Extra do not like. Oh god. Okay. Wait, what? That's not fair. I'm trying to figure out, was there something that I... Alright. I guess I'll just let her handle that. Since she seems to be immune to red spikes. Not the way that's supposed to be. Ooh, triple missiles. Yeah, definitely not supposed to be immune to spikes like that. I love her little bubble shield. It's cute. looks like all of my weapons are maxed out, aside from being short on ammo. She is, very good at what she do. There's a button. You press it. The teleport is finally functioning again. Anyway, big deal. Final destination is midway through the labyrinth. Ah, yes, big deal indeed. Yes, save. Which name Jenka? So if this teleporter's powered, is the other one as well? Whoa. That almost got bad. That almost got bad really fast. Not powered. Okay. Maybe. What? The heck? Oh, green chili. I'm like, what did I just find in my chocolate? Part of my burger. Are we still in the labyrinth? We can't pass through here. We're gonna have to keep moving forward. I see. Four. This is a strange place. Was it some kind of base? Open blast door. Opening blast door. Blast door number 4 currently malfunctioning. This blast door only opened halfway. I think I was to be caught on something. You hear the sound of something breaking free. Lower lift. Lowering lift. Lift lowered. Open blast door. Opening blast door. Blast door opened. Look! A soldier from the circus? He's been nearly destroyed. There are others like this one all over the place. Who did this? It couldn't have been a Mimiga. How could this happen? It's still functional.
Rebooting. Team 9 terminated. Unable to eliminate the target. Destruction of target is impossible with currently equipped firepower. Retreat! Retreat!
What? 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 Terrifying. You've drowned. Oh no! I completely forgot that there was a air bar. I'm just like, yeah, I'm doing all this damage. Oh no! My greatest fear. Want to retry? Okay. Oh, I may have messed up the end. I guess we'll see. You hear the sound of running water from the other side. You'd be able to pass through if the grates weren't in the way. Oh, dang. Remember, Pilton, we are in the middle of a heck of a fight. Oh. Alright. Getting a better idea of how to go about this fight, though. Let's see. Still thinking the nukes do a lot. So, we're gonna try and take advantage of those. Also, I need to remember that I have that little jetpack. A broken robot. Its exterior has sustained a substantial amount of damage. Jeez, I can't read today. Oh, I did not mean to do that. Don't start out by using that. Okay. Good start. Woo! Well, I guess this is a decent time for me to get back here and get out of the way. Just need more missiles. That's all I need. Oh, we are struggling. We are struggling. Come on. Oh no. Ah. Okay. Oh. Oh, those hit so hard. Okay. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes! You did it! Ah. Ow! Hey, the thing which is at me! For the student's sake! Shut it! Don't act like you're a mother! Do you even know what this thing is? Huh? This is the reason why I hate robots! This is the heart of the island! The island will never stops! Do you really want to die along with the island? You stupid fool! Hey there, Hunter!
Misery! What are you doing? Move the core to the lab now! While you still have time!
Uh... Um... Um... Losing consciousness. Huh. You can breathe. No reply. I hate this part of the story, 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 I hate this part of the story. No. Curly. Curly, no. Error. A dark place. Alright. Okay. Now I can pause for a moment and look at the chat. Party. Hopefully that doesn't break it. Hey there. Alright. Uh-oh. Okay, story, don't crash on me. Okay, cool. Mm-hmm. Room full of dancing jellyfish. How delightful. Alright, so if I go this way. Waterway cabin. Do you want to rest? Life refilled. My child is born. Text displayed on screen. 408008. Okay. The notebook is covered in dust. Nothing of interest. Okay. Uh. Okay. Oh no. Something's coming. Ah! 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 The hell? A murder fish. I always finish these boss fights with so little health. Oh hey, it's you again. Did that just happen? Oh, hold on. I'm sorry, folks. That needs clipped. I'm gonna take a second to that. Just the timing on that. Holy cow! I always finish these boss fights with so little health. Oh hey, it's you again. The timing on that. Did that just happen? Okay. Wow. No. Something's coming. Oh. Yeah, something's coming. Okay. That smug little fish. No. I don't remember if there's anything in Arthur's grave of note. You got some business with me. Yeah, right. You don't have any business with me. You got some business with me? See you later. What does that even mean, bud? Oh. Open the treasure chest. Obtain the map system. I've been playing without a map this whole time. So long as you always maintain a sense of exploration, you will someday find the way out. This is my hope. Oh, what a cute little map system. I guess you would need it towards the end to, like, locate secrets. I mean, is there anybody left in town? Hey. Like, who's still around? They're not. No? Yeah, let's see. Okay. First cave. Hey! I forgot about this place. Oh, and I changed the polar star because the true polar star is here. No, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. Why did I give that person the thing? I mean, honestly, I think this is a way better weapon, but I don't even remember what it does. I think it's the Nemesis, actually. Or it might not be until later. Let's see. Let's see what this guy says. Did you happen to see the gun I made? Someone pilfered it while I slept. I should have just slept with the thing in my chest pocket and I had known I was going to be that the case. That gun, it wasn't even complete yet. With a little more work put in, it would have become an incredibly powerful gun. Such a shame. Ah! Yeah, I forgot. Oh well. Okay, that's it for this place. Next. Teleport to Egg Corridor, Kazuma. It's a teleporter. Ooh, what could I find in the bushlands or the sand zone that I couldn't have gone to before? Curly's hurt, and I don't know how to get back to her. Egg Corridor? There was a violent explosion all of a sudden. Everything was like this after I came back around. What the heck is going on? The carcass of a flying dragon. Oh. Almost fell asleep again. Need to get out of comfy blankets. You know what? That's valid.
Well, you're so sad.
Max missiles increased by 5. Found and collected all missile upgrades. Oh, little dragon. I'm leaving you alive. Good luck, buddy. Huh? Oh. No, 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 no. Oh, no. No. Okay. Whoa. All right, let's try that again. Uh, Don't ask me how I just managed to dodge that. I do not know. Okay, need to go max out my missiles. Uh-huh. Wow, this... Egg observation room. Open the treasure chest. Max missiles increased. Again? A cold breeze blows through. Aww. You're so happy. The little flappy tongues defeated the sisters. Just want to watch the stream. Only if you're greedy. Defeat the twin dragons. Do you want to save? I wish I didn't. Yep. Of course. Yeah, I do want to retry because I think there's something else there. I'm just not sure what. Feel bad killing a dragon. Is there something else I'm supposed to be doing here? Or is that just a trap? Text appears on the screen. Incubation successful.
Who's over there?
Oh, it's you. I didn't know if you were safe or not. I'm the only person here. After you took off to Sand Zone, we sped up preparations for securing an escape. It was then that the misery showed up. Sue was taken away. Professor Booster, you disappeared somewhere. Well, you have to go out now with your friend. I hope you have a lovely time while you're out. Thank you so much for hanging out. I just got cold, so it is time for me to throw a blanket on and adjust the way I am sitting. Let's see. Also grab one of my little crunchy cereal bars. You know what? We're about 2.5 hours in here. I'm going to go ahead and take a short break. Gives me a chance to have a snack so I'm not crunched into the microphone. Because we're obviously going to have a bit more reading here, and then it's going to be way more extreme piloting and extreme boss fights, and it's going to... Yeah. We're getting close to the end of the game, so it'll be challenging from this point on. Anyhow, we'll go ahead and run that break, and... Whoa. In fact, we'll even do so in this world. Whoa. Okay. And I'll be right back with you folks in about 5 minutes. Just give myself a moment to let my wrists rest. Because holy cow, this kind of gaming is hard on my body. So, I'll be back. I found chocolate while scavenging. Also, I'm sitting here thinking about the way that the scientist, the doctor, is portrayed, and how he's indifferent, but excited to do this thing that is considered evil by everyone else, and like from all external views, yeah, it looks pretty evil. But is detached in a really weird way. Like, asks Misery, are these the red flowers? As though all of the work that they've been doing this entire time, they've never had access to the red flowers, even though they've obviously been experimenting on the Mimiga already. It's very strange. There's almost a childlike, I don't know, disconnect from the gravity of the situation. Okay, I messed up that set of lines because I didn't realize I was muted again. The doctors apparently acquired the flower seeds, but oh. The doctor's victory was certain from the moment he'd acquired the demon crown. It's only a matter of time before the Mimiga army is ready to attack the surface. If that does happen, it'll be futile to try to defeat the doctor, even for you. Hey Busta! Welcome home! How was work? You have no choice but to run from this place. Anyway, an escape is possible, but only by using a flying dragon. That's why I came here all on my own. For the flying dragon that I need hatched safely. Want to escape with me? No. I see. Truth be told, there's one way you can change the Mimiga back into their original state. Destroy the island's core. But the island may collapse if you do, or if you do destroy the core. Is it too dangerous a choice for you to make? Either way, I don't know where to find the core. If you really want to try and do it, then I'll wait for you. But I may need to flee the island at any time if it gets too dangerous for me. Little green dragon! If you're looking for the core, you need to really hurry it up. You are never seen again. Want to retry? Allow this to illuminate just how dire some of this is. A cold breeze blows through. It was okay. Well, I'm glad that work wasn't too bad. I don't know if I like messed up certain parts of the story here, and that's why like everyone's dead. I don't know. I don't know if there's a different way for this to all go. Am I just bad at this game? Alright, that opens up that exit. We're gonna go ahead and save again, so I don't have to sit through that conversation, because I've made the official decision. I am not flying away for ending 1, although that is ending 1. You can go ahead and end the game right there. And it'll just be you and Kazuma, and you escape And you're safe. See that door down there? Little house. Where'd that husband of mine go? Have you seen my husband? Who are you? I don't know if I actually, like, have seen where that person was earlier in the game. I legitimately don't remember. These cats are so cute. Hmm. Ah! Ah! Don't kill me! I'm a human! I was turned into a Mimiga by magic. Huh? You mean, you're not a killer robot? You startled me pretty badly by coming in so suddenly. Are you here to save us? I'm Ito. I'm one of the humans who came to study the island. Misery gave me this lovely new Mimiga appearance. I could probably run away, but take a look at me and how I am now. I'm stuck! I must have climbed all the way up the wall from the outside. I'm quite a capable engineer, but I also have an innate fear of heights. I shouldn't have come to such a place like this floating island. You don't need anything from this miserable man who happens to be stuck here. Oh, yes I do. I have need for an engineer who knows what they're doing who could repair a teleporter. Halder. Anatupon. Myakido. Huh? I have no idea what that is. What are you? You're so silly looking. kind of explode into a bunch of experience for me. Savilu! The doctor from the surface is using the mimiga of the silo to grow red flowers. Similar kind of events have occurred in the past, too. Apparently that's just Savilu's house. Careful with the spitting gunfish. Note, they can be used as steps. It reads, "Do not enter." Also, it's locked. Oh. You've died. Rest area. Oh, haven't we met somewhere before? It must have been at Mimiga Village. That witch misery brought me here. I really dislike farming. I'm gonna go clear my head with some fishing for a little bit. Do you like to fish? If there's another chance, maybe I'll bump into you again. It's so sad. Hmm. Hmm. Uh. Oh, hey, it's you again. A plant of the Asian. Plant of the Tation. Ow! Apparently those hurt. I did not know that. They hurt from way more than they give. One moment. My hair is driving me nuts. I'm having to adjust it. I guess while I'm at it, I'll take a bite of my chocolate. Ha! Still don't quite know where I'm supposed to be going from here, though. All I really care about is saving Lotte. Not Lotte. Curly. The sprinkler is... Oops. I can't be talking to humans. It's gushing water at a furious rate. Jail number 1. Well, at least we know our friends are alive. Woo! 3 health! Oh! You're a killer robot. You come to kill us. Let us out of here! The doctor can eat it! There are a few humans here in here as well, but I haven't seen them recently. I wonder if they escaped safely. Do you know Sakamoto? She should be hiding in the plantation somewhere. The Mimiga working in the farm are being tricked by the doctor. He's planning on making us fight the killer robots from the surface. The destination is unknown. Do you still want to teleport? Nice. How far back? Yep, that far back. Okay. That takes us nowhere. Nowhere useful, at least. Ad starts in 3 seconds. How else would I get there? There's water down below. There's water under the moon. There's water in the ocean. There's water below you. And the days go by, water rolling underground. What's the password? So what happens if I go left? Oh. I guess I can't go left. I just get dumped over here no matter what. It's a bucket used for storing fish. Oh, it's you! I caught something strange. You can take it if you want. It's inside the bucket. Peeked inside the bucket. Inspecting carefully, you see an item of some kind shining within. Obtain the teleporter room key. What does that key belong to? From what I can tell, that key should work on a door somewhere nearby. I'm starved. Oh, I see. Teleport to Arthur's house. I found you, killer robot! Hey! Hey, you! Are you dead or something? You didn't take any of my weapons? You're away. I thought you were already dead. Sue would smack you and you wouldn't move an inch. This place is a jail. Those who oppose the doctor are locked up here, to be used as test subjects for his ongoing experiments. Sue said so. You have a friend of hers. You're a little bit too late. She was in here as well. She worried about you so much. It was only a few minutes ago that she was carried off. And by the way, she snuck something in your pocket while she was taken away. Want to read it? Hey, it's me, Sue. I don't remember telling you anything about us. We came to the island as a research group. It was me, my mom, Kazuma, Professor Booster, and a few assistants. The doctor was with us too. He was supposed to take care of our medical needs and did, I guess. But that all changed when he found the demon crown. The crown used to belong to the master of this island, and grants immense magical powers to the person who dons it. The doctor knew about it well before coming to the island. It's the reason he forced himself onto our group. After he grabbed a hold of the crown, that was pretty much it. We couldn't do anything about it. The only thing we could do was continue the research of the island under his command. He seeks to rule the surface using the island as a flying fortress. From what I can tell, he plans on attacking the surface with the enraged Mimiga army. I was able to escape, however, the other researchers are probably... Of course, he's using the innocent Mimiga to grow a large quantity of the red flowers, and once he's ready to attack, he's going to send the Mimiga into a state of insane rage by feeding them red flowers. With his powers from the crown, he'll control them and me too. If you can get out of the jail, please look for a hidden safe house somewhere within the plantation. My mom is still alive, and she'll be there working on a plan of her own to beat the doctor. Please help her as much as you can. Cave story. Before I forget, the password to get into the safe house is cave story backwards. That's the end of the story of the letter. Do you want to read it? No. Okay. Did you get some kind of love letter? No, there's like another way it's supposed to do that. I guess we'll just try dropping down and see where that takes us. Okay. Aw, it's Kazuma's mom. So, you're the hero Sue's been talking about. I'm glad. I'm Momorin Sakamoto, Sue's mother. I took my chance working with the doctor's side, but after the flower seeds were located, I was of no use to the doctor. I was thrown off the island unceremoniously. Not very nice. Men who treat women without respect are barbarians. That aside, I'm presently building a rocket for you. It will take you all the way up to the doctor's throne, but evidently I don't have enough of the parts. Oh, I need to borrow that booster from you. Momorin takes the booster. There's still not enough of the necessary parts to complete the rocket. Are you busy now? That's a good answer. To be expected from a hero. For now, wear this. Obtained the Mimiga mask. Aww. It suits you, even if it's a tad too large. The Mimiga working the plantation are forbidden from speaking with any humans. With that outfit on, you should be all set to chat with them. Got it? There's a minimum amount of electricity needed in order for me to finish the rocket. If I can get one of those sprinklers in the plantation, that might just be enough. Please do whatever it takes to get a sprinkler. Cute. Well, Quote is now a bunny boy. It's a rocket. Red flowers are being grown in preparation for an attack against the surface. If this is what the doctor says is true, well, we need to make these red flowers bloom at once. Why? Defeating the mean killer robots will be so simple with the red flowers in our possession. Bloom quickly, little red flower. It's gushing water at a furious rate. Long live the great doctor! Oh no. I don't believe that, Doctor. Robots? Whatever. I'm not even scared a tiny bit. Indeed. Surface robots did attack this island. In fact, some of my friends were killed that time. Even so, a few of those robots seemingly understood us. I believe that these robots possessed hearts and souls. I'm exhausted. These are sprinklers. They break pretty frequently. We end up having a lot of replacements around for them. Why aren't you working? It has stopped. You're a new face around here. You must be puzzled having been brought here so suddenly. Whatever. But don't even think about doing anything rash. If you run away and are caught, they're gonna toss you in jail. I'm safe and get to eat my meals, but it's only as long as I take care of their silly flowers. It broke again! Hey, you! New guy! Go exchange a sprinkler with a new one that hopefully works. It has stopped. It broke again. Gave him the broken sprinkler. Use this one more carefully. Obtain the sprinkler. Welcome back. Show her a sprinkler. Let's have a look. More than enough battery power on this one. I think this might work. Next, can you look for a man by the name of Ito? He conceitedly calls himself a famous technician, but he's a big fat coward. Ito was the first to run from the doctor, but I don't think he got very far from here. He really didn't.
Ito.
That's me. What? Sakamoto's making a rocket? I had no idea she was alive and well. She's really strong. Compared to her, I'm... Alright, take this. I think perhaps this is what Sakamoto needs. Say hello to her for me. So chill here. Welcome back. Did you find Ito? Gave us a controller. There's no doubt about it. Ito made this controller. Without him here helping me, it'll be difficult to perform the analysis. Well, I'll do what I can. You've done well. This process will take some time before it's finished. Take a rest down below. There's a bed there for you. Whoa. You're well rested. And the rocket's gone. And the sprinkler's here. And this Sakamoto's gone. Ah. I'm back. Trying to hide was useless, and the rocket would never be completed without me. By the way, if you defeat the doctor, think I'll become human once more? Did you sleep well? The rocket's finished. Surely you can beat the doctor, yes? I believe you can. Please take this. He won't need that mask any longer. Directly above us is... I realize there's a thing... There's a thing I can still do. I would love to stop having this problem. Nearly dead. Nearly dead. Oh my god. Okay. Oh. Wait, what? Huh. What happens if I go... Hmm. Teleportation to the plantation if possible. Life and missiles refilled. Game saved. I am now a Mimiga. Hmm. So it says find all of the... Oh no. It says find all the missile upgrades, but there's something inherently wrong with the way that it's written, because it makes it sound like I've already found the last of them, even though I haven't. Okay. So what would I do here that I could not before? No? There's nothing here that I would have gone gone for. I don't know. I really don't know. Let's go ahead and heal. So was it something in the sand zone that I missed? It must have been. Takes away the Mimiga mask. Directly above us is a way that leads to the throne. You should be able to make it there using this rocket. The Mimiga and the plantation are all gone now. That means the red flower might have already been put to use. Well then, please get on the rocket and hurry to the doctor's throne. Do you want to launch the rocket? Mm-hmm. So, one of Jenka's dogs was there? Whoa. Really? Wait, can I even get to that thing? Oh no. No, I don't think I can. I think I actually do have to go back to her. Alright. Alright. Give me a thing. Yes, yes. Good sleeps. Yes, okay. What happens if I jump off the rocket as it's launching? Well, that's a problem. Nothing, huh? No. Alright. Just keep doing this, I guess. I'm glad that resets the rocket. It's been a while. Whoa! I've been hired as a courier. This is for you. What? Max life increased by 5. Found and collected all life capsules. All of them. You're gonna fight the doctor. You have my support. By the way, tell Curly I said hi. Woof! What do you mean tell Curly you said hi? Are you saying she's still around? Oh, the rocket does come back down. Whoop! Wow. Oh, hey, that's bad. I hate pixel perfect jumps. I have like no health, so many spikes, so many bats. Don't know where blood drip from. Wow. Okay. Not a bad first attempt at Final Cave. Although I did just drop a lit joint on myself, so we're having a moment. Okay. Danger. Hello. Also, welcome back to consciousness, Dan. Sir Daniel Skockrem. Of course I take. Need some sleeps. Yeah, that's valid. Glad you got some rest. One of these days, I really want to do a wake up puppy. Oh no! Come on. Emote. Love that saxophone. I don't know why I stopped to do that. I didn't need to do that. I was just kind of milling. Oh. Why? Why was I milling? I don't know why I just did that. I suppose that right there is the answer as to why. Alright. Okay, that's the one where I get the leniency. That's the correct way to do this. Okay. Time to go fight this guy. You'll fall beyond this point. Oh, okay. Is this the helicopter Sue arrived in on? It's Professor Brewster's memo. Do you want to read it? Further investigation of the island. Ha! Further investigation of the island is feasible if a device to aid in airborne mobility is available. For this, I will begin development of the booster rocket. Development of this aerial device will have multiple phases, with two booster versions, Point 8 and version 2. The plan is to make the Point 8 to be equipped and permit some form of aerial propulsion. As long as I can survive, version 2 will also be complete. Oh. It being even more indispensable. As long as I don't die. End of the road. Machine gun bunny. I want to know what those things were, though. Bunch of health and missiles, and what's the other thing? Oh. Okay. That's handy. I kind of messed up a lot of things in this playthrough. It's you again. You really are tenacious to destroy the core. Is that why you're here? Before I thought you were just a reckless little robot, but I underestimated you. You should know I have no regrets about this island. It is my fate to obey the one who wears the crown. Prepare yourself! Ah! Defeated misery. Miserable, defeated misery. Sit upon the throne of power. Oh yeah. The king's table. you're the traveler I met well back at my house. You come to save me. The doctor's afraid of us. That's why he put us in jail. There's no mistaking it.
Finally, it's complete. Mimiga become enraged. We introduce the red flower as a form of medication. Its cause is rather simple. The red flower brings out latent abilities. Not only that, but it also contains a compound that destroys one's reasoning. And now I have successfully extracted and intensified it, which is this, the red crystal. And this red crystal, it works on humans as well. Amazing! Do you understand how extraordinary this is? You don't understand, do you? Well then, I will give you a very special lecture now!
Oh no. You've died. Do you want to retry? I have to go fight Mystery again. Okay. I'm here to murder. I'm taking no prisoners. Never did figure out where that person's spouse went. Woo! Used up all my missiles, not thinking. Party. Ah, misery. So if you just ignore most of the incoming damage, it seems like you can use the rings and your iframes to ignore the big damage. It's amazing.
Ah! No! The power that I'm control!
Ow. Bloody bats. So many bloody bats.
Ah!
Also, sorry about the peeking, folks. I'm just trying to voice act a character that is dying. Defeated the doctor again. Defeated the Muscle Doctor. Muscle MD. You did well. I feel a little like a celebrity. Sue? Yeah, I know her. The girl looks like a Mimiga, but is really a human, isn't she? Well, my eyes can't be fooled. She's not here, though. Not bad at all. Do you remember me? I lost my key in Bushlands. Gotcha. Yeah, that doctor's a bad guy. For health.
Hold it right there!
Oh. Hold it right there! Stay away from the core if you care for this one's life. For a robot, you seem to have human emotions. You're different from the others who came here many years ago. To think that the new king was defeated by you. Even so, we'll make a deal. You can fall to your doom with the island, or you can forget about everything here and leave. If you leave here right now, I will guarantee her life. Otherwise...
I won't let you escape.
Who's there?
Already forgotten your master's voice. The power of the red crystal is incredible. Even now I feel so alive. Although my body succumbed, my consciousness is clear. It feels as if I've become a superhuman.
Unbelievable.
What's wrong, Misery? Is this form much dreadful?
Those who cheat death disappear.
You can't be helped. Those foolish enough to forget their master need not free will. Misery, until the day you die, you will be my puppet.
Hey, we gotta go. Huh?
I won't let you leave here alive.
Poor health.
You've died. Want to retry?
Oh. Alright, we're gonna give these fights another try. I thought this was difficult. Yeah, we are in the boss run part of the game. Huh? And I have been doing very badly at my damage management this time around. Very, very badly. Oh no. These bats could be my downfall, or, yeah, definitely not my saving grace. No, no, no. Like, just the amount of time this battle will have to go on for this to pay off, yeah. Yeah. Alright.
so much.
Rest. Why? That's it. We just lost. Again. Yeah, I don't think I can actually keep up this. More than I can do. Like, I'm questioning if I can even make it through the upcoming battle, period. Let alone, if I were... Oh, jeez. Because that's still not actually the final battle. It is a final battle. You can end the game after that point, but there's still yet another that you can do involving yet another extreme piloting puzzle. My eyes are starting to burn. I think I may be done with Cave Story for tonight, folks. Let's see. No, we'll see now. Very good story. Very, very, very good story. We're not done with it yet, but we are getting close. And I don't know when I'm going to have the dexterity to do that battle because it is inherently very, very difficult. Let's see. Do we want to do more games or do we want to call it in for a night? You know, I think I will actually call it in. I'm tired enough and I'm hurting enough. Well, we'll say that was good enough. We made it to about 4 hours. It was an absolute delight getting to hang out with you folks. And, yeah, I'll be back in tomorrow evening, about 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Let's go ahead and set up our No Thoughts Empty music and switch over to our thank you for watching. I've been messing around with a few things on here. I don't know if I actually got the right directory set up. We'll find out in a moment because I'm actually going to hang out here for a second and watch to see if this changes over to any of the new photos. It may not even be on. Let's see. Fan art reel, slideshow, transition, loop, randomize, automatic, fan art reel. Aha! I see what's going on. Whoops. What did I just do? Oh, it's over here. Love it. Love it when I break things like this. I need to fix this, though. Thank you so much. Bear with me and I'll be done with what I'm doing to improve the quality of everybody else's stream here. Okay. Maybe that'll work? We'll tell it to transition. Hopefully that actually does something. But it was definitely pulling from the wrong directory, so that explains why none of the previous edits that I've tried to make to this actually went through. I'm still questioning if it's actually doing... Okay, at least it's showing the right drive this time. So there's that. Let's see who is currently streaming and who we want to raid over to for the night. Ooh, I like the song. It's a good song. Oh, Curiosity's currently streaming. Let's go ahead and send everybody over to say hi to her. Hit this button here, go over here, steal the green glow dog raid that you folks put in place for me. Alright, thank you everybody for dropping in tonight. Thank you for those that were able to sit in the chat and for those that were just watching in the background. I always appreciate you folks and everybody that comes in to watch the VODs later. It is super awesome to have all the support, and as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you again tomorrow. Say hi to Curiosity. Let's go and do a green glow dog raid and give some support over to her.